Good morning and welcome to Special School District's Lunch and Learn series. We are excited about this opportunity to learn together. Today, we will be learning with Angela Barra and Jesse Brown of the National Association of Mental Illness, NAMI St. Louis. They will share information about their organization, their services and programs, and how those services and programs might benefit our student population and community. We welcome your questions and we'll have a question and answer session following their presentation. Please feel free to share your questions on YouTube comments. Please do not share specific information or confidential information about a child or a student, because this forum is open to everyone in our community. If you have to leave before the session is concluded or would like to share this content with others in the future, please know that the recording can be found immediately after this presentation on Special School District's YouTube channel. Following this presentation, we will also introduce you to members of our staff that support you and guide you to community resources. Thank you. Angela and Jesse, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Hello, everybody. My name is Angela Barra, and I'm the Director of Programs here at NAMI St. Louis. I know I do have a PowerPoint that's going to pop up here shortly, and I will be able to then get started.
I'm sorry, Angela, you are muted at this time.
Thank you. As I mentioned, I am the Director of Programs here at NAMI St. Louis. Just a little bit more about me. I have been working in the St. Louis area as a licensed master social worker for the last 6 years and have been a social service person in the St. Louis area for the last 12. I do have 2 very rambunctious dogs and I'm working from home today. So if I mute myself quickly, that might be because my dogs are barking and I'm trying to spare you all. But really today's purpose of this presentation is to just share some general information about NAMI St. Louis and the services that we offer. So if I can get the next slide. Thank you. So NAMI does stand for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI St. Louis is part of the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization, providing peer-led mental health education free of cost to our community. So there's actually over 650 affiliates in the United States. And the thing that makes us most unique, beyond that our services are free of cost, is that we are peer-led. So what that means, I mentioned I'm a licensed master social worker, but today when I'm presenting to you and in every presentation that I offer in the St. Louis area and all of our classes, support groups, everything that I'm going to talk about today are all peer-led, meaning that everybody that's representing NAMI St. Louis has lived experience with a mental health condition, whether they have a diagnosis or they have a family member that has a diagnosis. So it really brings a personal perspective to mental health in a very unique way. Next slide, please. So NAMI St. Louis in particular, we provide mental health education, advocacy, support, and ultimately raise awareness around mental health in the St. Louis community. We serve the St. Louis region, which includes 7 local counties. Those 7 counties include the St. Louis County area, the city of St. Louis, St. Charles County, Lincoln, Franklin, Warren, and Jefferson counties. Our mission is that NAMI St. Louis provides education, advocacy, and support essential to the recovery, resilience, and well-being of all who have mental health needs and for their families, caregivers, and the community. Next slide, please. So why this work is so important. We know that mental health can affect anyone. It does not discriminate. We also know that 1 in 5 adults and 1 in 5 youth have experienced a mental health condition or will experience a mental health condition at some point in their life. We also know that suicide is the 2nd leading cause of death for our young people, which is a really shocking statistic. However, there are lots of resources that are available and some that we offer here at NAMI St. Louis that can help to curb that statistic over time. We also know that of those 1 in 5 adults, only 60% of them or 60% of them don't receive treatment. And then of those 1 in 5 youth, 50% don't receive.
So I believe that Angela has frozen for a second. Jesse, would you like to join or speak on this slide until we can get her back?
Yeah, I can go ahead and jump in. And a little bit about who I am. I was going to introduce myself later, but a little bit about who I am now. I am the program coordinator over at NAMI St. Louis for our Ending the Silence program. And we'll talk, I think, a little bit about that a little bit later, but some more on this slide. So as Angela was saying, so nearly 60%, and you can see, of adults and 50% of youth that are experiencing a mental health condition don't receive treatment. And a really big part of that is the stigma around mental health and around seeking treatment, asking for help, talking about those things. And so our work here at NAMI, what we really strive to do is get rid of that stigma, have those conversations, talk with people, talk with young people about, you know, how to help themselves, how to recognize what those warning signs might be, and what to do and where to go for help. Right.
Thank you, Jesse, for jumping in. I'm back.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you. As in all things in our virtual world, sometimes technology is a barrier for us. So as I mentioned, I don't know where I got cut off, but stigma is a huge portion as to why people aren't getting the help that they need, including lack of insurance, cost of assessment or treatment, and then limited access to mental health providers because there is a shortage of psychiatrists in our communities. Next slide, please. So in these next coming slides, you will learn a little bit more about specific programs that we offer at NAMI St. Louis. Whenever the next one comes up, I will at least go ahead and start talking about it. And it seems like there's a bit of a lag. But our crisis intervention team training, or CIT training, is for local law enforcement and first responders. The program trains and supports first responders to effectively de-escalate and respond to incidents involving individuals experiencing a mental health crisis. It is a 40-hour training that we coordinate in the St. Louis community and area. And really the focus for this program is to, of course, teach de-escalation skills, but also to help curb results for individuals that are living with mental health conditions so they will not be unnecessarily jailed because of their behavior resulting from their illness, but will instead gain access to emergency inpatient and community-based mental health treatment services. You can go to the next slide. So our family and friends presentation is a 2-hour-long seminar. It provides general information about mental health challenges as well as skills that individuals such as family and friends. We use family as a very loose term at NAMI St. Louis, meaning that we do not, we know that family is more than just blood or a legal relation, and that communities often define family to their best needs, and that program, the goal is really to provide some psychoeducation for those individuals that have family members with mental health conditions. And those participants learn about different diagnoses, different treatment options, recovery, and what that process might look like, communication strategies, crisis preparation, and then of course, NAMI resources and other local resources in our community. Next slide, please. The NAMI Basics program is an educational program for parents and caregivers that have children under the age of 19 living with mental health conditions or are exhibiting behaviors of a mental health condition. It's a 6-week-long course, and there are 2.5-hour sessions each week. The goal really is to provide confidence to navigate and understand the youth mental health care system, those mental health conditions that their child or the young person in their life might have, including where to find support. So it covers everything from information on different mental health conditions and their impact on the brain, all the way to skills related to managing crises, problem solving, and effectively communicating. Next slide, please. Our Family to Family course is an 8-week-long course for family members that have adult loved ones 18 and older living with mental health conditions or exhibiting behaviors. They're also 2.5-hour sessions, very similar to the basics course, except it's geared towards the adult mental health care system. They're learning very similar skills around crisis management, problem solving, communication, as well as what resources are available in the community. But we're also talking about additional things that might be geared more towards adults. The next slide, please. And Jessie, if you want to unmute and talk a little bit about Ending the Silence.
Yes, absolutely. So with our Ending the Silence program, what we do is that we go into schools and talk with youth that are from 5th grade all the way up to 12th grade. We talk with them about the importance of mental health, how important it is to take care of ourselves and really think about mental health just like we would, and treat our mental health just like we would physical health. We talk a little bit about warning signs around mental health conditions, and then steps to take on how to help ourselves or a friend or a family member if they're having some of those warning signs. And then we talk a little bit about warning signs around suicide, and again, those steps to take on how to help ourselves or someone that we care about if they're experiencing those warning signs. We give resources as well. And then the second part of our presentation is a young adult will come to class and share their story, share their lived experience with a mental health condition. So it's really great. The students are not only getting the information piece, but they're also able to see from, a real living person that, this is something that happens. It is common, and we can still kind of live with these conditions and still be able to do all of the wonderful things that we want to do with our lives, right? So in addition to our student presentation, we also offer presentations for staff and for families. So our staff presentation is a little bit longer than the 50 minutes. It's about an hour, I think it's hour and 15. And so the first portion of that is really that informational presentation. And then again, kind of going into about how to work with students and best tips and practices around that, and how to also partner with their families so that we're making sure that everybody is, that students really kind of getting those wraparound services. So again, with that, we do have the young adult that will come in again and talk with the staff and share their lived experience. And then the same with families. So it's pretty much, it's a similar presentation, except we give tips on how to work with the school and school staff. And then again, that young adult will come in and talk with the families as well.
Thank you so much, Jesse. If you can go to the next slide, please. Inner on Voice. Inner on Voice is also one of our really popular programs. It's a presentation that features speakers sharing their personal testimonies of living with a mental health condition. So much like that young adult portion of the Ending the Silence program, this is just an extended version specifically for any groups in the community that might ask us to come in. So it's not geared for youth necessarily, it's more like college age and up. And it really helps to broaden people's knowledge of mental health conditions and helps us to replace misunderstandings, fear, and judgment with insight, awareness, and acceptance. Next slide, please. We also have an online speaker series that was a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. So essentially we combined our Inner on Voice speakers and our young adult Ending the Silence speakers. They came together and started offering a online speaker series for our community via Zoom. Next slide, please. We also have our second Thursday, which is a monthly presentation that covers a variety of different mental health topics and wellness topics. We generally will feature one of our partners in our community in the second Thursday lunch and learns, essentially. So our community can learn more about the different resources that are available within the St. Louis region. Next slide. We also have Mental Health in the Workplace, which is a 90-minute presentation for employers and employees to learn about mental health and ways to support their colleagues. We recognize that employers can be a great resource to their employees by providing opportunities for education, creating mentally healthy workplaces, and supporting their employees who are living with mental health conditions. So we tend to do these a lot at nonprofit organizations and corporate America. Next slide. We also have our general mental health presentations. We're currently offering presentations specifically on anxiety, depression. We have a newer presentation called College and Your Mental Health, and that's for high school seniors and freshman students. And we're hoping to develop one specifically for their parents as well in the near future to talk about resources that are available on college campuses generally around mental health and how to access those services. And so those generally range between 30 and 45 minutes. So they're kind of just short and sweet opportunities to learn just a little bit more about mental health. Next slide. We also offer a variety of support groups. So we have our family support groups, which again are peer-led for family members, caregivers, and loved ones who have adult individuals in their lives living with mental health conditions. We have our basic support group, which is for parents and caregivers that have kids under 19 with mental health conditions. And then we have our connection recovery support group, which are for individuals living with mental health conditions that are 18 and older. So NAMI support groups are really unique because they follow a structured model to ensure that the individuals in attendance as an entity have an opportunity to be heard and get what they need from each other. It is not a clinical group, meaning that they are just providing, support from a personal perspective. And it really helps to just create connection within our community. We have started offering over the last few months additional connection recovery support groups, those are more geared towards adults, but we have two in particular for specialized populations. So one being we're offering the Connect, which is a new group for 18 to 30-year-old Black and African American men. And then we also are offering an LGBTQ+ connection support group. So those are just a few of the support groups that we offer. All of those right now are virtual as our classes. We're starting to try to trickle back into in-person offerings, but we do plan to offer both moving forward. Next slide. We have our NAMI St. Louis Helpline, which is not a crisis line, it's a resource line. Essentially, it is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5. Our information is listed there. The helpline is answered by staff, and when we have volunteers back in the office, it'll also be answered by volunteers. And it's really an opportunity just to get information on local and national resources. Next slide. We have two special events that we offer each year. We have our NAMI Walks, which is in May. That was virtual the last 2 years, but we are planning to have that in person this coming May. It's open to folks of all ages. It is out at the Chesterfield Central Park. And it really just brings together thousands of individuals and supporters to celebrate mental health recovery, to honor those that we may have lost to their mental illness, and to help raise funds, combat stigma, and promote awareness. And so all of those funds that are raised stay in the St. Louis area. And that's how we're able to, one of the ways that we're able to offer our programs free of charge to the community. We also have our annual gala, which provides direct funding for family and community education programs that lead, we're hoping, to positive life changes and an increase in empowerment for participants, allowing them to more effectively assist and support their loved ones with mental health conditions in their journey towards recovery. So it is a dinner auction. It takes place every November. It's at the Chase Park Plaza this year. We are doing it in person on November the 13th. And there's lots of different folks that attend those, but generally it's mental health service providers, individuals living with mental health conditions, their family members, hospital partners, educators, corporate sponsors, and advocates and ambassadors. Next slide. There's lots of ways to get involved at NAMI St. Louis. So if you are at all interested in learning more, or maybe you think, oh, this would be a great volunteer opportunity, these are just a few of the ways that are listed, but you can visit our website at namistl.org and click on our Get Involved tab and fill out that volunteer application if you're interested. Next slide. So that is the end of my presentation. And if you want any more information, our contact information is listed there, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right.
Okay, it looks like right now there are no questions.
Okay, so we want to thank you both, Jesse and Angela, for your time today and for sharing all of the resources and programs that you have to offer our community. We look forward to sharing this information with our stakeholders. And we also want to take this time to introduce those who are watching or who will view in the future to some departments and divisions within our district that can also help connect them to community resources.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Beavers, the social work EPS at Special School District. I serve as a technical administrator for the SSD social work department. Our district employs over 100 social workers serving students throughout St. Louis County. I can help connect you with the social worker assigned to your student's school and help navigate these resources. I can be reached at 314-989-8242.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Latricia Morgan. I'm an administrator of the Student Support Services here at Special School District of St. Louis County. The program that I am the supervisor of is the Parent Education and Diversity Awareness Program, better known as PETA. And so we can assist you with navigation, resources, referrals, and the like. So please feel free to contact us at 314-989-8460, and we'd be more than happy to assist you with any questions that you might have related to this topic.
And I am Adrienne Eaglin, the Family and Community Outreach Manager for the district. I am happy to assist anyone in serving our students and families countywide. You can reach me at 314-989-8311. Thank you all for participating in our bite-sized information today. Thank you again, NAMI. We appreciate your service in our community. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much for the invite. Have a great day.
Yes, thank you.